Sometimes you find some of us, we are really determined to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially those who are inclined to Irfan and spirituality. Sometimes we tend to be doing something, whereas the obligatory ones are not yet established. You find people, namaz sharp, solid. Zuhur, Asr, zero. You find us, Jamaat community, we need to change this sometimes. When there is amal, packed. But when there is obligatory prayers, the Imam sometimes like Muslim Bunaki. Meaning, few people. But whereas, according to the traditions, I'm going to go two traditions from Rasulullah, and of course, also reported from our beloved Chief Imam, that these obligations, your daily prayers, your fasting, and the rest, they assume the highest stage when it comes to any act of worship. Yani before one step to start adding more things, you have to ensure that the obligatory ones are properly established. Now look at this riwayah, very simple and beautiful riwayah, where our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him and his family, salawat, salli ala Muhammad. Rasulullah said, "A'badu nasi man aqama al-fara'id." Simple as that. So Rasulullah said, the most worshipping personality is the one who established the wajibat, those that are obligatory. Yani in other words, you can be doing things at night, which is very important. So long as the wajibat are not established, you've achieved nothing. You've gone nowhere. It's like someone who owes fasting that are wajib, and then you're trying to do the mustahabbat. Why can't you use that opportunity to pay back what you owe of obligations? Yet you find our beloved Chief Imam in one riwayah, he said, "Azhadun nasi man taraka al-haram." The most God-fearing, someone who divorced dunya, who stay away from it, is the one who stay away from haram and leaves haram. And I'll give you a few examples, inshallah. And then, of course, at the end of the riwayah, I said, وَأَشَدُّ النَّاسِ اجْتِهَادًا مَنْ تَرَكَ الذُّنُوبَ. And he said, the one who is like of the highest level in terms of ijtihad and struggle in the way of Allah is the one who stay away from sins. Because these are things that are very important, and Islam emphasizes on that. Now let's come to the life of Imam al-Reza salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And these things that I'm going to mention are very simple, but it's a reminder that it happened in the life of our Imam, and that we should also take it serious in our lives. And I remember very well last week, Tuesday, I was discussing here with the senior citizens on the importance of salat in the mosque. Simple as that. Now, the first thing I want to do is to look at the life of Imam Ali when he arrived in Khurasan, in Iraq. The first one is a fellow by the name Raja ibn Abi Dahaq. This fellow was tasked by Ma'mun to do what? To take care of Imam al-Reza alayhi salam from Medina up until Mashhad. And he said, no, do not harm him and do not expose him to any harm. But this fellow reported after the journey that he said, throughout the journey, I've learned the following from Imam al-Reza. This should help us, these obligations, haram, halal. Imam is ma'soom, but Imam would always teach people a lesson, either by word of mouth or by his action. And if you claim to be the lover of Imam follower, you have to follow. That is the meaning of being a Shia of Ahlul Bayt. Shia of Ahlul Bayt is not to come khoshali, Mankabat, Marsiya, and then we go. Majlis Gola is to take a lesson or two. I always tell you, don't come to Majlis without taking something as a reminder or something new to start thinking about it. Ahlul Bayt want us to learn from them now and then. So therefore, when we attend every Majlis of Ahlul Bayt, it should be a university or a learning curve. Now, this fellow reported, he said, I've learned the following things from Imam al-Reza. Number one, he said, Imam al-Reza alayhi salam, his salat awwal waqt was unbeatable. Awwal waqt. He said, that's the first thing I learned from him. In whatever situation it would be, salat awwal waqt, he wouldn't. I know sometimes our mosque for convenience, no problem. But we need to start following Ahlul Bayt. We need to try. I know sometimes it's not the easy things are difficult, but we need to try. Up until when we're going to be in this comfort zone? Up until when? Salat time has to be pulled for quite a long time because of people. Lala, people need to learn. People need to understand. We need to improve. He said, I've learned the first. He said, number two, after every salah, he would go to sajda and repeat 100 times shukran lillah. 100 times he would be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he said, every day, I witnessed that he would recite 1/3 of Quran. Every day. Okay, so you don't recite 1/3. One ayah reflect every day. One ayah. I know Ramadan, we are doing Ramadan. One ayah reflects. Because you see, this deen is not for blind following. This deen is for those who've got knowledge. And if you want to appreciate and enjoy this religion, don't follow blindly. I always tell you, if you follow blindly, speakers take you for granted. But if you are a reader, you read, nobody will take you for granted. So therefore, mu'mineen, this person is saying that every single day, and you know, of course, recitation of Ahlul Bayt is not like our recitation. I'm sure there will be reflection in it, there will be pondering in it, not just going on. Now come to the second one. Somebody Sa'ibi. Omar Sa'ibi, they call him. Not a Muslim. He came to Imam al-Reza. He said, Wallah, we came for a very important meeting. They were not Muslims. They came to discuss about Islam with Imam al-Reza. He said, when it was time for Salah, Imam al-Reza said, Nusalli summa na'udu. Let's go pray and come back. Awwali waqt ikhwani wa izzai. We need to learn that if it's not beyond your control, we have to emulate Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. It begins with Salah. It begins there. I always tell people, you know, sometimes we go very high, but the basics are not yet established. It begins that you want to enjoy the fruit of spirituality, it begins with your wajibat. You remember that riwayah? وَمَا يَزَالُ الْعَبْدُ يَتَكَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ بِالنَّوَافِلِ أَتَّى أُحِبَّ. This nawafil, mustahabba. Rasulullah said, when a servant continues to seek nearness to me through nawafil mustahabbat, he will continue to do that until I love him. When I love him, I become like, look at the riwayah. I become like his hearing. I become like his seeing. I become like his feet. Meaning, you get guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when it comes to wajibat, it's not sillah. He said, you become Allah's eye. You become Allah's feet. Meaning, you get shielded by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You become overwhelmed by the nur of Allah. So therefore, wajibat is very, very important. Alhamdulillah, you're going to build a mosque. You don't want to have a white elephant. إنما يأمر مساجد الله. Allah said, من آمن منهم بالله واليوم الآخر. Those who give life to the mosques of Allah, they are those who believe in Allah and the Prophet. So mu'mineen and mu'minat, if you have the opportunity, you are self-employed, rise, come for zuhr and go. There is a lot of benefit. There is a lot of barakah. There is a lot of blessings. Salatul Jama'ah, you know, of course, the importance. But here, al-muhim, not to divert from what I'm discussing. Imam alayhi salatu wassalam ensured that salat was awala. You don't want to go to the mosque for something beyond your control, fine. Wherever you are, when it's salat time, young, old, and especially to the youth also, you are working, you are a school student, you are a university student, seek divine intervention through your daily prayers. You can't do it alone without Allah. Today we are living in a world full of troubles, full of problems. People are sick. People are losing money. People are losing their lives. What is the way for this Sheikh Nuru? Is it him? It's Allah. Let's seek divine intervention. Don't go doing something big. Start with your daily prayers. Wife, help a husband to be strong. Husband and wife. I always tell, I had one great scholar was mentioning. He said, you go to haram, our haram, be it in Iraq or in Iran, you find adhan time, people are busy doing ziyarah when ziyarah is mustahab and salat is wajib. We are not questioning ziyarah. Don't get me wrong. We love ziyarah. But we can't. Something I was telling people in Nairobi. He said, you call him, how many marsiya you have memorized? 10. One ayah of Quran you have memorized? It's important, marsiya is important, mankabat. Don't get me wrong. I love them. Even in the language I don't understand. But salah, taraktu fikum al-thaqlayn, kitab Allah wa itrati. This is the basics. This is the code. The code is Quran and Ahlul Bayt. You cannot hold onto Ahlul Bayt at the expense of Quran. It can't work out. But look at our situation. We have to hold onto two. When ladies like Fidda, who were in the house of Amir al-Mu'minin, were walking Quran and speaking Quran, where are the followers of Amir al-Mu'minin?